I heard recently from Rav Yosef Segal, who was one of the Rosh HaKelil in the Kelat Tzemach Tzedek in the old city of Yerushalayim, a Yechidus that he heard from his father-in-law, who was Rebbe Berenstein, and he told him what the Rebbe spoke to him about in Yechidus. This Rebbe Berenstein was a big Talmud Chacham. He was the Rosh Hashiva of Chayil Eilam. He was a member of Badatz of Yerushalayim, a very choshev read. And he told him the Yechidus that he had in the Yuds by the Rebbe. When he was on Yechidus by the Rebbe said, I want to ask you something. Can you be mevarer? Can you find out what the Minchas, the Minchas Elazar did when he was in Eretz Yisrael, when he came to the Kossel? Did he put in a zettel in the wall of the Kossel? Because we know there's a big shaklavatari, a big discussion if you're allowed to do it or not. And the Rebbe wanted to find out what the Minchas did. And the Rebbe said to him that if I find out what he did, this will be by me, my serav. This will be by me a psak din for something that he did. And it says in the Gemara that if someone, a big pesach, did something lemaise, that's the Rav, that's the best way to learn the halacha. So he wanted him to find out. And he said to him, I want you to find out, not miklole itmar, but befeiresh itmar. This is an expression in the Gemara. Sometimes there are dinim that a Tanner or a Meira said befeiresh, said outright, this is the din, or did the way the din is. And sometimes there's something else that he said, and from that we could learn now that according to that, seems like that's and this is how you held. So the Rebbe said in this case, he doesn't want to have it miklole itmar, he wants to have it befeiresh itmar, to know what befeiresh he said or what befeiresh he did. When the Rebbe said this to him, he said to the Rebbe, from dem zeich haremes, as the Rebbe cleared for in Eretz Yisrael. From this I see a remez that the Rebbe is planning, thinking to go to Eretz Yisrael. So the Rebbe got serious and the Rebbe said, Welcher Eid klärt us nicht for in Eretz Yisrael? Which he does not think of going to Eretz Yisrael? And anyway, the Rebbe said it's Negei Lalocha Lamaise, because from when Mashiach will come till the built at Beis Hamikdash will take some time. I think he even said, according to the Gemara, it comes out that it could take 18 minutes. Now, in that time, before the Beis Hamikdash will be built, we'll only have the Kossel. So we'll want to know what we could do by the Kossel. Can we put a zettel into the Kossel or not? And that's why I want to know. When he left Yechidus, he went to his son-in-law. He has another son-in-law who is the Heintige Minchas Rebbe, and he asked him if he knows what his grandfather, the Minchas Elazar, did when he came to the Kossel. And he said he didn't know. But he said, let's ask his Gabbai, because Reb Chaim Ber, who was the Gabbai of the Minchas Elazar, was still alive. And he said, let's go ask him, maybe he'll know. So they asked Reb Chaim Ber, and he did not know. So when this Reb Abba Berenstein came to Eretz Yisrael, he spoke to Reb Osha Zelig Margolius, very, very choshev read, wrote Svarim, and he asked him if he knows. They tried to find out. They heard some things, but nothing was clear. So they didn't get it clear. So he answered the Rebbe back that they did not get this clear, so they don't know. And that's how it remained, that the Rebbe did not get a clear psak from what the Minchas said or what the Minchas did, what the Minchas Elazar did, and therefore, but the Rebbe remained a sofik. And therefore, years later, when the Rebbe sometimes would send people on shlichas and tell them to go through Eretz Yisrael and stop by the Kossel, so he mentioned that whether you should put a zettel into the Kossel or not, you should find out Elazar. Over there, find out what the minig is when you get there. But the Rebbe himself would not pass him, because as far as the Rebbe was concerned, he didn't get a psak din that he wanted, because they didn't know what the Minchas did. And by the Rebbe, had they found out what the Minchas did, that would have been by the Rebbe psak din.